I actually saw a program on, I don't know if, it wasn't a Learning Channel because they did a documentary on me, but it was another channel that had a documentary, and I think Cena was in it, and it was of UPW in California.
Okay. I think I've seen that documentary.
Yeah, and that sparked my interest, and an attorney buddy of mine who's an Italian guy who had the money to fly us out there to go meet UPW for a weekend. I went out there and met him and really liked the guys out there, and you know, I ended up moving out there. I planned for a couple months, saved up like $1,500, loaded up my car and moved to California to go to their school. That's how it all, you know, ended up happening. Like, it had always been there in the back of my mind, being in martial arts and football, and you know, with Goldberg as a friend, and by then he was God, you know. I mean, WCW and WWF, that was the hottest time in the 90s, right? Man, it was like, so seeing him, that definitely, you know, watered the seeds that were in my head of thinking about it. But I went to California with I loaded up my rodeo with $1,500. My dad didn't want me to go because he's like, don't wrestling, you know, it's like, you need to go coach football or, you know, get into something, you know. But I was like, no, I'm gonna do it. And I had a girlfriend that loaned me some money also. She supported me, and then I ended up moving out there and stayed with one of the guys at UPW, Big Schwag, who was an announcer, actor guy. And I had an apartment come open. It was I call it Gilligan's Island. It was the old hotel with the pool in the middle and the upstairs, downstairs in Studio City. And believe it or not, it was $600 a month for an efficiency. Basically like this hotel room. Yeah. But one of the guys that lived there was an older guy, ended up passing away, and I had that come open. So I moved in there, put down money on that. I actually had no electricity for a little while, no furniture, but I slept on the floor. But the first day I got to LA, I got bouncing jobs on Sunset, so I had income. I just had to save up a little money to buy rental furniture, electricity, and then pay for school, you know. But that's how that all started working, and I was bouncing, paying for the school, and then Bruce Pritchard came down, Dr. Tom would come down, JR, Paul Bearer.
Because there was a deal with UPW.
Yeah, UPW was developmental at the time. Okay. Yeah, it was like an entry level. So it was like, you know, single A baseball, you know.
Because John Cena would have been there.
Cena was there, a ton of people, man.
Did you get along with John at that
point?
Oh,
yeah. He was a prototype.
Could you tell that he was going to be a big star?
Well, man, when I went to visit that weekend, I walked into the school and he was in the ring, and I was like, man, this dude looks like the Terminator in the ring. Because back then he was bigger than he is now, believe it or not, because he was a college ball player and bodybuilder working at Gold's Gym and wrestling. But John's a genetic freak, number one. You know, some people are gifted with size. That guy just has a freaky amount of muscle. You know, that's just, you know, some people God touches and say, you're gonna be a cancer doctor, you're gonna be a wrestler, you're gonna be Heidenreich, you know. But he was one of the first guys I saw, and you could just tell that guy had, you know, everything. Yeah. And I was out there with him probably a year. I got signed pretty quick, you know, because I was a big guy and I worked hard. They told me, they said, just drop weight, because I was like 310 from football, so I got down to like 247 or 250. I got ripped because I was going to the gym, and the bodybuilders were all like trying to help me. They told me how to eat. Once you change your diet and do it, you can get lean. It's just a matter of doing it. I dropped the weight and they signed me to the developmental, and that helped out a ton. It was $500 a week, which means I didn't have to bounce but a couple of days instead of bouncing every day, you know?
Yeah.
Because they did that.
Stay in LA at that time?
Yeah, well, they did that for guys that look like they may be potentially guys that may make them some money. It was just an investment, you know?
Yeah.